Hello, I'm Christina with The Turned Leg. I love to salvage, repurpose, and create and help others to do the same. Today I'm at the barn, Antiques in Northville. I'm looking for inspiration, gonna get some ideas for my booth. I'm getting ready for an overhaul for the fall. What I like to do is come check out what other people are doing. Come along. The barn in Northville is located about 30 minutes northwest of Detroit, and it is a super cute place. Just look at the drive-in when you arrive. I love it. Salvage birdhouses all along the path too, and when you get to the back, there is tons of salvage in the yard and antiques outside, which is what I love. Check out the salvage for sale. There are shutters, old windows, and more, very well organized. There are old doors, all of these things available for your next project. They also have set up a whole bunch of tents that are kind of like mini flea markets. Inside, there were lots of great vintage items that were very much reduced. I really wasn't planning on shopping because the items here are usually quite high priced. I was actually here for display, but there were a lot of good items that I probably could have purchased and then resold in my booth. But I had just come back with a mega thrift haul from up north. If you haven't seen my video, I'll put a link here and you can check it out. So I really didn't need any items. If you stop by the barn, you should check it out. I was here for display, and outside the barn, the display is beautiful. They do such a good job. They don't just lump all of their salvage in one area. They're telling a story. They've got the patio table and chairs where it looks like you could just sit down and have tea. On the right, the enamel bowl has been turned into a bird feeder. They've got the ladder open with a few seasonal items to get you thinking about decorating for fall. I just love that they're showing their customers how to use salvage items. Many times customers really think things are cool, but they have no idea how to use them. So this is a great way of showing the customers how they can use these items in their own home and yard. When you walk into the barn, the first area is themed for Michigan, and the first dealer or vendor that they have actually makes items from old grates from the Mackinac Bridge, which I've never seen before. Really cool use of salvage. Having vintage items from your state is a really good idea for a theme. I've done a souvenir theme before, but I've never thought about this, and there's just so many possibilities. Another easy, great way for display is to group items together. Cubbies make things so simple. So do bowls and little boxes and whatever you might have. I really like that these pool balls are brightly colored, and it just adds so much and really makes it pop. They also use a jar here to put similar colors together. And you know, I'm going to talk about color display. It's one of the easiest ways to organize vintage items that don't always go together. Here we have red and glass and a little bit of metal, and it just looks beautiful. Here's another easy all white display. Pop it all in together. This next cabinet, we have pops of the blue ball jars throughout. A great red display, also using the plaids throughout. This is a fabulous idea for fall and through winter. Sometimes dishes can be difficult because there are always so many at antique stores. I love the color groupings here. They have them in the pink and in the blue. Everything looks like it's just ready to have an afternoon tea. And that brings me to my next idea of display, is to tell a story. This whole store is almost like walking into somebody's house in little areas. And here it's kind of like you've walked into somebody's shop and they're in progress and there's things organized where they want. And it tells a story of what they like and what they're doing. And they do a really good job of this. Let's head up to the second floor. Now remember, this is a barn and they actually use the space to their advantage. That's another really important point. Whatever space you have, try to use it wisely. And sometimes it takes a while to figure out what will work best. They use the space above to their advantage and they've hung items. A lot of people forget about this area in their booth because it's not at eye level, but it really makes it appealing to the shoppers. And you're able to put more items in your booth and not use up the precious floor space. This first area is also telling a story. It's a garden shop. You're going to see lots of items for planting and pots, and there's also colors on how they're organizing it. They're grouping like items together. The green is super dreamy. I also loved the use of this door for old tools. What a brilliant idea of just putting them in. And it also is giving people a good idea on how to display maybe their own old tool collection in their home. So many good ideas and inspiration. I love this child's headboard where it's placed. It gives you the idea of a bench. I'm not sure if it was attached already or not, but even if you didn't build anything, just setting things up to inspire is such a good idea. Another simple idea, attach an old garden tool to a board, and they even added a cute little ruler to it, and now you have a hook. Another thing they're really good at here is stacking. If you're stacking your items, you're going to create more floor space. You'll have more items to sell, but there is an art to it. And color and like items together really helps. You want things stacked, but not too junky. There is the idea of the pyramid display where you actually create a triangle with your display. Placing things at different heights and at different angles really helps your eye travel throughout the booth and the display and just makes it more visually appealing for your customers. This booth has quite a few different pyramid displays throughout. The space next to it is very similar. They are using great theme of color. They do have pyramid display and a whole bunch of different angles. They also have on the end there something I call an end cap display that is facing out. This is another great way to grab the attention and get people to come into your space. Did you notice the grouping of like items? Here we have all of the silver or silver plated. On the hutch, you have clear glass, and then there's hand painted in the bookcase. Another great tip is if you have anything for a fireplace or even a mantle, you can get some birch logs to put in just to stage it to give customers the idea of a nice, warm, cozy fire. It also shows them how they could set it up in their home for display. I love the pops of bright color in this booth and the wood and the salvage. They also did a great job of little collections and putting like items together. It always makes it more appealing. Do you know what these are? These are old license plates turned into bracelets. I've never seen those before. This display also tells a story. There's lots of repetition of objects too to keep things cohesive. We see signs, we see glass, we see globes, and lots of different pops of color. The last space is a vintage kitchen area. These areas can look junky. I like they've grouped like objects together. It also makes it easier for customers to find what they're looking for. Super cute idea if you have some vintage items that have seen a better day. Stacking Pyrex pretty so people can see the design helps it sell, and sometimes to the newbie dealers it's hard to figure out how they do this. In this case, they used blocks of wood to make everything stand up a little bit higher. I also wanted to share with you a few more beautiful displays. Cubbies and clocks are always good. Light-colored objects always look good with a wood background. And the final collection, so much prettier than just lining them all up on a bookcase. Being a booth owner is hard work, trust me, I know. I've been a booth owner since 2015. I hope this video has at least given you time to take a break, look at a whole bunch of other displays, and get a little inspiration. Although I do want to let you know, the best way to help your booth, even though you're crazy busy, is to get out there and look at some beautiful displays yourself. Maybe you have time to just go on Pinterest and check things out. And I'll put my Pinterest link in the description below if you want to see some of my favorite displays. But looking at other people's displays will inspire you and just make everything turn out so much better in your booth and get those shoppers to visit. I really appreciate all of you here and all of you watching. If you like the format of this and want to learn more from me, I do want to let you know that I have a Booth Owners Business group on Facebook. It's a private group, and I'll put all the information in the description box below. Right now the group is closed, but you can sign up for my wait list, and I will let you know when the doors open. Thank you so much for watching. Now get out there to salvage, repurpose, and create.